Cage Slinky.
Hey people, Cade Slinky here, how we doing? So I finally put together a tier list. Now it was difficult to kind of put one general all-in tier list because each character has so many different traits and have their strengths and weaknesses in different areas. I put it kind of across four different sections. So I put it across the arena, the guild boss, the Tyrannid, the guild boss Necron, the events, sorry it's five, and also in general, just an in general tier list as well. So I did put it across the five different sections because I think that's only fair because some characters, like I said, are better in areas and then they're not so good in others. So I think that's the only way fairly to do this. Now, disclaimer before we carry on, this tier list is purely my view on these characters. Do you know what I mean? Please don't get me stoned, don't get me hung. Do you know what I mean? Don't chuck every abuse at me just because your favourite character isn't okay and it should be good, because everyone's opinion is different. This is purely mine just by going on who I play against and who I use. There's one or two that I haven't actually got, but I have played against them. I've seen other videos on them, so it's my opinion on where I think they sit. The only one I haven't given an opinion in is not on here is Jane Czar, purely because I haven't seen enough on Jane Czar just yet to give my opinion on where I think she's good and where I don't think she is good. So that's the only one I haven't put on this list. Plus any new characters that are coming up soon that we don't know about as well. But I'll keep adding, and also I will change my mind during the time because, do you know what I mean? I like to hear what other people think. So I might, for example, at the moment, I've got God's Will in okay in Arena, but I might one day, 1 month, he might get a buff, and I might think, actually, he's better than that, so another month, I might put him up. So this can change in the future, but this is purely, as it stands, at this day, this month, this is what I kind of think of all these characters. So we'll go through briefly. I'm not going to go through every single one, as we'll be here forever. So first, we've got Arena. Now, Arena is kind of Yarick, Creed. I mean, them two sit together so well. Archimatos, Morgan Ra, he's really good for Arena. Do you know what I mean? Once you've got him, once you get him leveled up. I put Ross Wither in there purely because once you've got Ross Wither really highly ranked, she's just so good in Arena, I find, that she can just kind of take out most people in one shot. So I purely put her in there purely because, like, sometimes you want that one enemy dead straight after him, to send Ross Wither in and she'll kill your enemy, or Aleph Null, or your Yarick, or even your Archimatos who you're against. She'll just go in and kill him straight off. So I do think she's really good for that. Okay, like I said, we've got a lot of the Black Templars, which are okay across the board. I can't really put them in good or God tier because I just don't see I just don't see any good for him. The only difference is Helbrecht, that I've put him in good because he can be really good. Do you know what I mean? Once again, once you get him and he's ranked up. In the good, we've got your likes of Candace, do you know what I mean? Calgar, Revna. Revna's really good in Arena as well. And obviously in your meh tier, Insidious, who is getting a buff. He might go up soon, but again, I don't think he will. Your kind of healers for your Arena don't really need to be there. You want to get in their Arena and just kill as many people as you can as quickly as you can. So you don't really need the heal, really, to be fair. And it goes for a lot of the orcs as well. They're not great in Arena. So next we're going to go to the guild boss, the Tyrannid one. So of course Ross Wither, she is probably the top tier, I would say, against the guild boss Tyrannid. But also again, Yarick and Creed, them two are so well together. Archimatos, you kind of see some of these are good across the board. Some of them, I mean, if we've got Ross Wither, great against Tyrannid, but not so good, I think, in the Necron. I've put her okay in Necron because she's not so good there. Morgan Ra, again, he's really good for the Tyrannid. Do you know what I mean? He can kind of keep a distance and shoot. Also good, we've got Bellator. Shosil is really good. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's another kind of character you can keep back. In the meh tier, we've got quite a lot really for the Tyrannid. I put all of the Death Guard because I just don't find any need for them in Tyrannid. I've tried and it just, for me, just don't seem to work. As well as a lot of the Necrons as well. I just can't seem to get them to do any good in the Tyrannid side, as well as the Orcs. Cut, Isabella, Vindicta, Certus. Again, I just don't really see. I mean, like I say, if they're the only characters you've got, you're going to stick with them. But until you get some of these God tier characters, do you know what I mean? They're just going to get redundant in the Tyrannid. Now, the Necron is a different kind of boss. So obviously we haven't got any Necrons in this part because obviously you can't use them. But again, Yarick, Creed, Volk, Eldron and Morgan Ra, they're your top 5 against the Necron. They're really good. But also, if you haven't got them, Calgar, Archimatos, Calendis, Showsil, I mean, they can still do really good against this boss. And again, the OK, do you know what I mean? Revner's in there, Noble, Certus, Roswither, Celestine, do you know what I mean? If you haven't got any of these good, high-ranked God tier characters, in my opinion, do you know what I mean? They are going to be there, and they can do OK for time being. So the events. Now the events is stuff like purely events. So you've got like obviously different legendary events that take place. You've got some of the character events. These are kind of like hit and miss that can do well. So the events, Isabella, she is an MVP for a lot of legendary events, especially in like the Gamma section. You find really she's really good for it. Yarick, he's great across the whole board. Yarick, I put him, I think, God tier across everything. He's really good for a lot of events as well. Calendis can be really good in a lot of events purely because he's just got that sniper kind of out of the way, as well as Showsil, similar kind of thing. You can build up your drones and shoot from a distance. In the OK section, Bellator, Calgar, Divine. Divine actually is really good to stop the Overwatch in some of these events as well. She can become really useful. Aleph Null, Imaspec, do you know what I mean? Morgan Ra, Revner, they're all okay. And Volk as well, I forgot to mention Volk. Volk is really good in a lot of events as well. We didn't mention Volk. He's there in the guild boss tier, and he can be really good, especially when you get him high ranked as well. He's really good. And the rest of the OKs you can see there. I'm going to do a copy of this in the description, so there will be a picture in the description of this tier list if you want to take a gander yourself. Again, in the Mare tier, we have a lot of like similar ones for the bosses. So Celestine, Tank Smasher, Gibber Scraps, Harken. Do you know what I mean? Just in the events, I just don't seem to find any use personally for them, so I don't really take them to many events. And lastly, general. Now this is just a general all-round kind of how they faced up. I think they're going to put in this list. So we've got Roswither. I've put God tier because she does come high in a lot of lists. She's so useful. I ranked her up really high quite early on when I got her really early, and she's been a godsend for me. She's done so much for me and got me through a lot of events, got me through a lot of the boss kills, got me through the campaign. So all in all, I just think she's a God tier character, as well as Yarick. Yarick again the same. Do you know what I mean? I think my kind of infantry that he sends off is probably better than Yarick himself, to be fair, and they're just beast. Do you know what I mean? Once you get them really high, I think mine's at level 33 at the moment, I'm going to say, between 33 and 35, and they're just a beast. Do you know what I mean? They just kill most things. Also, in the general, we've got Eldron, Morgan Ra, Aleph Null, all them again are really good in a lot of areas in the game. So if you've got them characters, get them ranked up as soon as you can, get some decent gear on them, get them skilled really high as you can, because they are going to get you far. In the general, also in the OK section, we've got Isabella, Volk, Angrax. Angrax, again, he comes bottom tier in a lot of stuff, but overall, Angrax is great for some of the events. Do you know what I mean? He's up there, so he is actually a good character, so that's why I put him in that section. We've got Showsil, Revner. Now you can see a little bit of a, with the Tau, there's definitely a bit of, what can I say, leader going on here. I think the rest of the Tau look to be really good, so they could be a high faction. And you can see the different factions as well, as in like the Orcs and the Black Templars do come below in a lot of tiers, and that's purely because they're just really okay. They really need some buffs. I think some of the skills need changing on the Orcs and the Black Templars, because when you get them, they're great, but they just don't rock any worlds. So unfortunately, they come a lot of times in the kind of platter of the OK tier in my eyes. And the same for the Death Guard. Corrodius, Typhus, Malodus, they have their kind of moments, do you know what I mean, where they're really good in the events. But all in all, apart from that, Rotbone, it's a shame Rotbone, I put him in the meh tier at the bottom purely because, I don't know, he just needs something else, that guy. He's got probably one of the best skills where he can revive anyone. I think he's got the only person that can revive someone, apart from like Celestine, who revives her own kind of help. But Rotbone can actually revive, but that's it. And a lot of times you just don't need that. So he does need another great skill to go alongside it. Because if he's got another great skill and he's got that kind of built-in revive, he should be really good in a lot of areas, especially in the events. So it is a shame because, like I say, he has a great skill in my eyes. Abaddon, again, it's just okay. He's in a legendary kind of category, but he's okay in a lot of stuff. You can get more than VAR is much better. as a legendary character. Calgar, even so, some sections is better than Abaddon, I think. So there we go. That's like I say, that's through most of it. I didn't want to talk through each character. They are going to change every month. We get buffs. Also, I kind of sometimes find like a new way of playing the character. So if I do find a new way and I find a new kind of area that they're really good in, I will increase them in their tiers. So I hope that helps some people out. I don't want to go on too much, but this is kind of saying my opinion. Please don't like get me hung, throw rocks at me, go mad. This is purely my opinion. Everyone has their opinion, so I understand that some people's opinion might be different, but it'd be great to hear your opinion. It'd be great because I do like to listen to what other people think. Do you know what I mean? Where would you place certain characters, or do you think a character I placed in Mare it could be an okay? So please let me know. So again, I hope that helped everyone out. I'll put it in the description a link to the picture. Please don't forget to check out some of my other videos and also hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Take care. Bye bye.